Wasn't that awesome, everyone? Another round of applause. So good. I love when we can bring, for me, I'm a very visual, tactile person, and not that I disbelieve energy stuff, but you can't see it and feel it mostly. So I love when we can just get a tool where we can basically see energy and see the result that the energy has. And for me, it's just so like, oh, yeah, it's true. It works. My body knows. So I love that kind of tool. I love being reminded about that. So bring it back in your toolbox and use it for sure. So before we get on to our next speaker, I want to encourage all of you. Speaking on stage can be a lot. For sometimes you're standing up, you're being vulnerable, and I appreciate that you guys are comfortable where you are. But when there's an empty front row, that can be sad for the speakers because they have to get over that empty row of chairs. So I invite everybody who's willing to just come one chair forward and fill up this front row, please. Somebody needs to sing for me. Who's gonna sing? There we go. Thank you, everyone. I know you get cozy, but if we were at some of these events, they would tell you it's actually good to move the energy, get up, sit in a new spot. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Carl. Yay. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Come on, Richard. Come on, Jeffrey. Get up here. Come on, Billy. Come on. Come on. He's a big dog. I know, right? He'll come if I ask. Exactly. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. That just so you know, I mean, we're just talking about energy. The difference this energy makes of not having this empty row is unbelievable. So anytime you're at an event, I always talk to whoever's speaking afterward, and they're like, oh my God, thank you for sitting in the front row. And I'm just smiling and I'm paying attention because they're being vulnerable. They're standing up here and they're sharing. So anytime you're in an audience, take the front row, give them your attention because they're giving a lot to you as well. So without further ado, our next amazing speaker and MC, Brittany Michalchuk, who we are very excited. I feel like I've known Brittany forever, but it's really only been like 6 months or something ridiculous. For me, holding space and creating community is my passion. That's what we do with Unite. We love gathering the community. We love holding that container. And anytime I come across a kindred spirit who also has committed her life's work to gathering the troops, to gathering the community, to holding that space. And Brittany, what she does she's the founder of YVR Entrepreneurs Club, which is an amazing community. If you don't know and haven't tapped in with them, please do reach out to us. If you need connection, reach out to Brittany if you want to join. I was a little skeptical. I'm like, it looks very businessy, and I thought it's going to be a bunch of people pushing their cards on me. And I go to one of her events and it's full of sweethearts, and she works in the most amazing, so many of people in the community. I went shopping. I go shopping at her events now, and I'm like, oh, I'll take you. You come to our events, you come to our events, because she just gathers the most wonderful people, and she's working in the business and spiritual pieces. So she does business talks, but she also has beautiful breakout sessions with coaches, and it's just very, very much, yeah, she's holding down that whole community. So please do. And they're always fun dress up events. So if you want to get your dress up on, get dressed up, go to Brittany's events. It's totally recommend. And for me, just as a person, I love that Brittany brings 150% everything she does. She's so committed. She's so focused. I went and scrolled through her Instagram one day for like half an hour trying to get my back. And I'm just like going and going. And I get curious. I'm like, what was she like 5 years ago, 6 years ago? And it's just so fun to see people's evolutions and to see how far she's come, where she's come from. And for me, just everything Brittany says, I'm always inspired afterward. I always feel uplifted. And I really feel like she has got her finger on the pulse for how to mix bringing people together, selling your offerings, actually being abundant, actually making money, actually having impact. So without further ado, let's hear from Brittany Michalchuk.
Thank you so much. That was like the best intro ever. Thank you. I adore you guys. I went to an event they brought Noah a couple weeks ago now, and it was literally one of the best events of my life, besides these amazing events. Yes, it was so good. And I just am in awe with what they're doing. They're really, really bringing people together. They're hosting their own events, and I just absolutely adore you guys. So thank you guys so much. That means the world to me, and I'm so excited to see your guys' evolution and everything you guys are doing. This city needs more heart-centered leaders that are passionate about all these amazing people. Can we have a round of applause for every single person in this room? It is Sunday, and you guys could be at home, it is raining, and you got here. And I think that really has to show what kind of people are in this room. There are business owners, there are leaders, there are thought leaders, and there are people that are in this room that are passionate about putting themselves and their business in the spotlight to be able to go out and impact the world in a big, massive way. And so thank you guys so much for being here. I am so excited to share with you guys my speech. I'm very, very confident you guys are gonna love it. And I just really appreciate every single one of you. So thank you so much. So how many of you guys wanna make more money in your business? Okay. How many of you guys would believe me if I said, if you follow what I'm about to say, I guarantee you will make more money in your business. Now, I have coached thousands of students. I had an online academy for years and years and years and years, for almost a decade, I have been teaching this. And I put together 16 of the most important things for you to do today to make more money in your business. How many of you guys want to impact the world in a massive way and make 2024 the best year of our lives? Because when we have heart-centered leaders like yourself that are passionate about impacting the world, I have goosebumps as I say this, but the world needs us. And the world needs us to step into our power, and the world needs us to confidently step into our power. And so I want to share with you guys, with these 4 notepads, how you can do this today and increase your revenue. Because if people like you increase your revenue, you get to go out there and do better things in the world. You get to build your business and help more people. And you get to go out there, inspire people, motivate people, and get them into a place where they're taking action and buying your products, services, and solutions and helping them. So with no further ado, I was talking to Shine and Crystal, and I was like, what does your audience want to learn? And they said 3 things. And I want to ask you guys, what do you guys want to focus on? Anyone want to raise their hand? What would you guys like to learn? Okay, yes, what else?
To do kind of like with employees, maybe some more passive.
Cool, I love it. What else?
Create a community.
Cool, what else? Last one.
Building trust.
I love it. Perfect. Okay, you guys are in for a treat. Because the 3 things they said was our audience wants to know about sales, marketing, and how to get more clients. So today, I am going to share with you the ways to do that. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about is one of the most important things, and that is, where can you get your leads? And while I was making this list, I kind of put the most loyal and warm leads at the top. And I want to ask you guys, where do you think your hottest leads are? Shout out, where are they? Yes, community. Where else are your leads? Yes, exactly. Where else?
Yeah, so good.
Online, yes. Where else?
I'm sure.
Existing customers, 100%. Where else?
Art collectors.
Art collectors, I love it. One area where your target demographic is in your comment section. These are people that already know, like, and trust you. If they're going to take their precious time and go to your Instagram and comment, what do they say? I want to show you love it. If you guys want to write this down, I'm going to start with the 14 places that your target demographic could be. If they're going to be loyal enough to show that they are invested in you, they want to help you, they want to show their loyalty to you, you need to be approaching them. You need to be in their DMs And I want every single person, if you guys have a piece of paper, write this stuff down. I want you to go home and I want you to look at your last 10 posts and message every single person that has commented on your last 10 posts and strike up a conversation. Those people are already saying, hey, I'm invested in you. I like you. I like your stuff. Number one, your comment section. The second place that they are hanging out in is, oh, does anyone want a notepad and a piece of paper? If you guys want to maybe take notes. I'm going to be going over lots of good stuff today. So if you guys want a notepad and a piece of paper, just raise your hand and Crystal will come around. They wanted me to do practical, so that we're going to bring the practical strategies. Number two, people that like your stuff. Again, these are people that are saying, hey, I like you. Why are you trying to always sell cold leads when they're already saying, hey, I like you? Those are people that are going to be more easily to convert to your offer. The third thing is people that watch your stories. They're showing their interest in you. Sometimes I just go down to my stories, I whip them up, and I'll just go message people. Like, hey, how are you? I go to their bio, I see if they're an entrepreneur. Hey, you want to come to our event? Do you know how many people have came to our events because I went to my comment section, my likes, and my stories? I'm not going to teach you guys stuff that is not working. I'm not going to stand up here and waste your time. Time is the most valuable commodity. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to be doing in your business to make more money. And you have two choices today. You could sit here and be like, oh, that sounds great. Or you can actually take action with this stuff. And I want you to make a decision right now. Are you going to take action with all the things you know you should be doing, all the things that you know you should be doing in your business? Or are you going to continue to allow other people work with your clients, allow other people live your dream life, allow other people to create the success and the impact that you know you deserve? So with that in mind, I want you to brainstorm as I'm talking. I want you to visualize you doing this. So I want you to think of, okay, my comments that, yes, okay, I can do that maybe every single day after work for 30 minutes, or maybe on Sundays, I can sit down, I can block out 2 hours, I can do this, or maybe I can find an accountability buddy in this room to get this stuff done, because I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. If you don't do it, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. And I want every single person in this room to be powerful. So I want you to make a plan in your head while I'm speaking on how you are going to adopt this. The fourth thing is your text messages. How many people in your text messages, in the last 100 people that you've messaged, could be your potential clients? How many of you guys have clients in your last 100 text messages that could, or people that could be your clients? Raise your hand. How many people in your last 100 text messages could be your clients? Raise your hand. Every single person should raise their hand, or else you might be in denial a little bit. Because those people are waiting to hear about your product, service, or solution, and they're waiting for you to share it with them. They're waiting for you to create an irresistible offer. And it is our duty as human beings to impact people's lives in a positive way, period. And I truly, every single cell in my body truly believes that. And every single one of us has so much potential inside of us. People are waiting for us to reach them. People are waiting for us to confidently step into our power to help them and change their lives. The fifth place that they are waiting is in your Facebook messages. How many of you guys could go home tonight and copy and paste something into Facebook? Instagram is a little bit more restrictive. I have got warnings a couple times on Instagram from copying and pasting. I've got blocked multiple times, but my account is still going strong, you guys. But I've definitely got very restricted, but they're not going to stop us. Facebook is a little bit more lenient with copy and paste. LinkedIn, you can copy and paste like crazy as long as they've accepted your request. How many of you guys know that there are potential clients waiting in your LinkedIn inbox conversations? Raise your hand. There are a lot of leads out there that are waiting for you to take action with them. The sixth place is affiliates and collaborations. How many people in this room can you collaborate with? How many people in this room could you pick up the phone and be like, hey, what do you do? This is what I do. What can we do together? You want to host an event? Do you have a podcast? Do you want to do an Instagram live together? Do you want help? What do you need help with? Do you know anyone that needs my services? There are collaborations that are waiting for you to create creative ideas. The 7th way is people that are following you. The 8th way is outbound messages on Instagram. This is the holy grail of client acquisition. Working with thousands of people, unless you are on stages, podcasts, hosting your own events. For smaller entrepreneurs, this is by far the best way to get clients. It is the way that this is usually the number one thing that people have the most resistance on is cold messaging, outbound messages on IG. This is by far the most successful way that I have worked with people to find clients that I've ever seen in my life. Truly. And people have so much resistance towards it because there's fear of rejection. There's different things that are coming up. People don't want to dedicate the time, but I guarantee you, if you sit there every single day and you send 20 messages a day to your target demographic, looking up hashtags, looking up the hashtag Vancouver, reading their bio, seeing if this is somebody that might resonate with you, coming up with a high converting script, having a high converting lead gen. There are some different ingredients. It's like baking a cake. You can't just shove the flour and the milk in the oven and expect for a cake to come out. But if you can master your messaging, your irresistible offer, and your lead gen, sending messages on Instagram is one of the best way to get clients. Now that takes a little bit of trial and error. And if you guys want to learn how to do that, I'm doing a master class on February 3rd and 4th, which I'll share with you guys about. We're going to dive deeper into that. But it is one of the best ways and one of the highest converting ways. Number 9 is hashtags. Your target demographic is using specific hashtags if you look them up and find them. Number 10 is Facebook groups. How many of you guys have been to a Facebook group before to get something? There are Facebook groups that you just look up the word Vancouver and go through the Facebook groups. There's like spirituality in Vancouver, yoga in Vancouver, newcomers of Vancouver. And there are people and communities that are your target demographic waiting for you to get in those groups and share your passion or purpose with them. The 11th way, which I love, is podcasts. How many of you guys want to be on more podcasts? Raise your hand. How many of you guys know that you guys are making a conscious effort every single week to get on more podcasts, sending messages, getting outside your comfort zone, looking up podcasts and messaging them? I want you to be honest right now. Right now is an opportunity for you to be honest with yourself and make some shifts. How many of you guys are making a solid effort to get on more podcasts? Raise your hand.
I've like spoken to some people who've done like everything on everybody.
We're going to talk about that.
But I don't have to get.
I love it. Thank you for the honesty. How many hands were raised? Common sense isn't always common practice. We know we should be sending more messages. We know we should be putting ourselves out there. We need to be taking more action. And I'm going to share with you lots of tips today, but I'm going to say this more than once. If you do not take action with this stuff, your potential is going to live in here. Your potential is not living out there. Your potential is going to live in here. And I want to encourage every single person to take action with this stuff. So I'm going to get to your question. I love it. Love the enthusiasm. How do you get on more podcasts? I got a designer to make up a flyer. I'll put it on my Instagram and message me on Instagram. I'll actually post it up there right now so you guys can see it. And if you go to your guys' phone, if you guys tag me on Instagram, I'll do a giveaway for an hour free with me. I'll do a one-on-one session with you. Anyone that tags me I'll reshare the posts, and I'll also enter you into a draw for an hour free with me. But if you go to my Instagram, Brittany Michalchuk, I'm gonna post the photo that it looks like this. This is what I send out to people on podcasts. So it has, you'll go see it on my Instagram, but it has like the things that I talk about, the like photos, different places that I've been on, et cetera, et cetera. So I send that to them, and then I have a copy and paste that I send to them. In your copy and paste, if you want to get on more podcasts, you want to say 1 or 2 sentences of what you're going to leave with the guests. What's something you're going to do? I want to inspire your audience. I want to teach your audience how to step into their power. I want to share with your audience the #1 way to become more healthy, or the top ways to become healthier in their life. You want to share with the podcast guests why they should have you on their podcast. The second thing you want to put in your message, and I'm going to share with you after this how to find these podcast hosts. The second thing in your message is an authority plug. Like for us, we're one of the fastest growing entrepreneurs club in Western Canada. Female Entrepreneurs Club. I put thousands of students through my academy. I've been on hundreds of podcasts and stages. So you want to pick out a couple sentences that builds authority to why you should be on their podcast, and you just want to send out messages. Now, the ways to find podcasts, #1, I was doing this today. That's why I'm kind of excited to share this with you guys. I just went to Google and looked up top business podcasts. I sent it to my VA and I was like, hey, can you contact all these podcast hosts? Here's a copy and paste. Here's a photo that shows like some graphics and some me on stages. Send this out to podcast hosts. So I have 2 different copy and paste. One that I send out, because how many of us have seen podcasts on our newsfeed? You should have this message in your notes, ready to go. And I want everyone to write this down for homework. I want you to come up with a copy and paste that you can send out to a podcast host. Whenever you see them on Instagram, whenever you meet somebody that is a podcast host, and this works for stages too. You can interchange podcast hosts with stages as well, and send this out to people. It's all about taking action. It's all about taking action in the direction that you guys want to go. So Google, there's just scrolling on Instagram, seeing different podcasts. There's looking up the hashtag podcasts. And #4 is going to podcasts and looking on your homepage what podcasts there are, seeing their name in the about section and messaging them on Instagram. 90% of podcasts will have the podcast host's name in the about section of the podcast. You can easily go find them. And that's another way to get your message out there in a big way. #12 is YouTube. You can do long form content on YouTube. And number 13 was Facebook groups. Number 14 is location tags. So if you're into health and fitness, look up location tags at different gyms and see who's checking into Good Life Fitness down the road from you and message those people. Hey, I saw you're into health and wellness. We go to the same gym. That might be a little bit creepy. Maybe don't say that. Maybe say, hey, I saw you into health and wellness. I have a free guide, the top 10 foods that you want to stay away from in 2024 so you can live your healthiest life. Would you be interested in the free guide? Or I have 3 things that are going to help you be healthier in your life. Would you be interested in my video that's 5-10 minutes? You enter into the whatever your offer is, into your lead gen. So let's go to the second. How many of you guys have learned something so far? How many of you guys are inspired to take action? Let's go. Okay, we're just getting started. Well, not actually, because we're probably almost done for time. That's okay. You can message me on Instagram. I'm obsessed with teaching. I have 1,000 opportunities for you. #2, how many of you guys received a voice note and instantly felt like you liked that person? Raise your hand. How many, I want you to remember this week. This is my passion and mission on earth, is to help people. And I want you to remember these words this week when you are talking to clients? How many of you got a voice note from somebody and felt it? You have that potential as well. I want every single person in this room to be sending voice notes this week. How many of you guys are going to commit to sending a voice note? Raise your hand. Yes, let's go team. I want every single person in here to send voice notes. Now, this is the rule of voice notes that I made up, so it's my rule. I found.
I really like your thoughts with it.
Yeah. I love you guys. So you don't want to send voice notes to cold messaging. They don't always work. They sometimes work, but it's pretty time consuming. You want to work smart. Send voice notes after somebody's responded to you. After somebody's responded to you. And you'll see it works really well. Okay, we're on number 2 and I have 5 minutes. Okay, guys, we're gonna motor through these. Number 3, pardon me? Okay. Number 3 is create when you're inspired. What gets you into flow state? Social media is the transfer of enthusiasm. Create content when you're inspired. One thing that gets me pumped up is listening to music. I listen to music and I get so emotional and I grab my phone and I create content. I go for a drive and I listen to music and I get in the zone and I pull over and create content. Create content when you're inspired. Number 4 is know how to capture your leads. There's a couple different ways. You can copy and paste their URL into notes, a little time consuming. You can save their photo. So you go to their last photo, you go to the bottom right-hand corner, save it to a collection, and then go back to them in a month or 2, or when you have an offer, or when you have an event, or when you have something, and go to all the people that you saved under the word leads and present your offer to them. You can also send the profile to yourself. I do that sometimes, where I go to the top right-hand corner, I say, send profile to, I type in Brittany Michalchuk, so I can just go to my messages and I'll see all the leads. And this one's really exciting. I saw this one today. How many of you guys want to learn a cutting-edge Instagram tool now to organize your leads? I want everyone to pull out their phone, okay? I literally found this out when I was sitting in my chair like half an hour ago. Okay, let's go through this together, guys. So go to your messages. You might have to have a creator's account. So I do have a creator's account. I love it. So I want you guys to go to your messages, go to more. So go to somebody, everyone pull out their phone. So go to your messages, add me on Instagram and send me a message. While you're at it, let's connect. Go to more, go to edit label. How many of you guys have seen edit label? Yeah, bring this up. You go to edit label and it says flag booked lead order page ship lead. Boom, save. Now you can go to the top right hand corner filter and you go to lead and there's all your leads. What's up? How many of you guys, how could this help you in your business? I'm speechless. This is so amazing. Cutting edge technology, you heard it here first. But I love that, okay? Organize your leads. When your leads are more organized, you're gonna be able to get to them a lot quicker. I also downloaded this app called Meta Business Suite, so I can go to unread messages, but yeah. The 6th thing is apps. How many of you guys want to learn the best apps to be using right now to create content? Raise your hand. I'm going to share with you 5 of them. And if you message me on Instagram, my Instagram is Brittany Michalchuk, BRITTANY Send me the word notes. Was that fast enough? Thank you, fast enough. My full name is Brittany Alexandra D'Ambrosio Michalchuk. If anyone wants the whole complete name,
Hey, Siri, pull up.
but yeah, exactly. So if you guys send me a message on Instagram, I'll just copy and paste the 5 apps. And I'll also, if you send me the word notes, I'll recreate the notes that I wrote here today and send them to you in case you guys didn't have a pencil or a piece of paper. But the 5 apps, there's a couple more. These are the apps that I use, okay? The first one is Video Shop. And this is transformational, you guys. When I started learning how to use apps, my content skyrocketed. Instagram is a visual platform. You have to understand how to create a visually appealing visuals for Instagram. So learn the apps, learn the apps, learn the apps, learn the apps. I really hope there were a couple takeaways. One of the biggest takeaways, if you want to grow on social media, learn the apps. It's going to create more engaging content. The next app that I absolutely love is called Captions. I'm obsessed with it. It takes 30 seconds. You upload your video and it automatically uploads all of the captions. You don't have to type them out, and it's the best looking captions. It's so amazing. I see you guys nodding your head. I love that app. The next app is Insta Reel, Insta Reels and Insta Stories. Insta Reels, I love, or it's called Reels app actually. I merged two apps together, you guys. Reels app is where you can upload videos to the sound of music. So if you ever see those videos online and they move to the beat of the music, that app is called Reels app. The next app I use is Insta Stories. Insta Stories is amazing for your stories. It creates the most amazing graphics. You just have to try it out. The other app is, it's an app and a website. It's Fiverr. If you guys are like, look, I have absolutely no interest in learning how to create engaging content, go to Fiverr, find somebody for $10, $15 a post, and they'll just do it for you. And those are the ones that I use. Yes, thank you. The next, how much more time do I have? Okay, in a couple minutes. Maybe let's just go through a couple of the important ones. Let's end with this. And if you guys want all of these notes, I have courses where I go over all of this stuff. Just message me the word workshop and I will share with you some of the stuff that I have planned coming up if you guys want to learn more and go deeper. But I want to share with you one of the biggest things that stops people from doing this. And the biggest fear that I found that stops so many people from everything we're talking about is the fear of rejection and imposter syndrome. So many of us want to do something big in the world. We have so many big goals and dreams, but there are blocks that are stopping us. And when we get clarity on those blocks, and we know everything that I'm saying sounds great, but there is something that is stopping you, and you get clarity on that, that's when you get to break through that. Because so many people have so much passion and potential inside of them, but there's something that's holding them back, whether that be imposter syndrome. They need to reframe what they think about themselves, whether they have a program where they tell themselves they don't have any time. Whether that be that people feel like they can't charge their worth. And when we get clarity on that, every single next level of my life comes from breaking through a block. Every single next level of my life comes from breaking through a block. And the first step that I always start at is getting clarity on what that block is. And when we can be real with ourselves and we can figure out what is actually stopping us from that next level of success, what is actually stopping us from stepping into our power and going out there and change the world, there are people that need us. There are people that need you right now. There are people that need to talk to you to change their life. And when we figure out what is holding us back and we go out there and we show up powerfully in the world, that's, I think, what we're all here for. That's what I think this journey is really about. Is figuring out how we can show up powerfully in the world to impact people's lives in a positive way. And so I just am so grateful for you guys having me here. I'm clearly a little bit passionate about all of this. So thank you for being here. And I really hope you guys succeed on whatever is on your heart, on whatever you're passionate about, on whatever is that next breakthrough for you. I'm just wishing you guys so much love and so much success in all of your lives, and keep me updated. I would love to hear of your breakthroughs and everything that you're creating in the world. So thank you so much for having me. Are we doing Q&A? Okay, does anyone have any quick questions? Yeah.
So if you're starting a conversation where you're messaging someone in the DMs, how do you kind of share what you do and your purpose without being like overly pushy and being like, buy my product?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I think is finding people that actually need you. So figuring out what are their pain points and what are your solutions and presenting it to them. For me, I like doing low ticket in the beginning because I want to actually find people that need my help. I don't want to be like pushing something on people that don't need it. So if you come up with like a lower ticket offer or like something for free to build that relationship with, you can ask them if they want something for free. Who's going to not want something for free that's going to solve their problems? So if you come up with like a YouTube link or a quiz or something like that, where you're going to send it to them, it takes the way that, hey, buy my stuff, but it still allows you that bridge to build that relationship.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Question? Any questions?
What's your big vision?
My big vision. Ooh, good question. I want to see people change. When I was 18 years old, I sat in the back of a room and I remember I was just bawling my eyes out. It was in that moment, I really knew how much potential I had. And I knew that I had to start playing a bigger game in the world. And I knew that the person that I was back then would not achieve that. I knew the person I was had so many blocks, had so many fears, had so many things that she was giving into, instant gratifications, time wasters. I was never going to be the person I had the potential to be unless I did the personal development work, unless I worked on myself, unless I kept on breaking through barriers and reaching that next level. And so I just know what this did for me. I want to share it with other people. And I want people to actually be like, thank you, you changed my life. And if it's in small settings or big settings, it doesn't matter. I just really want people to be impacted and have that gift, because that's the greatest gift I ever got in my life. And somebody shared it with me, and now I'm just like sharing it with other people. Yeah, good question.